past, was it 5 weeks, there's been a crazy competition in Powhatan Point, Ohio that you guys have been part of. And I've been lucky enough to be a judge. It's been stressing me out this past month, and man, the ups and downs. And sadly, my fellow judge, Doug Richardson, wasn't able to be here after organizing the show. But we'll talk to him on Sunday at Powhatan. But so I brought in two competitors of this competition. Randy, who's in the top 5, still in it for this coming Sunday, and Neal, who was unjustly eliminated. Was it week 2 or 3?
Some might say.
So this singing competition was a little bit different. If you watched our episode with Brian and Tim, Valley Survivor Karaoke, it is Survivor style. So as a judge, the first 4 weeks, all I could do was kind of like give words of encouragement and save somebody the first week. But yeah, other than that, like the competitors were the ones that were voting each other off. So as I was listening to these guys sing, me being in the front, I never looked back to really see the goings on and the planning and all the inner workings of the Survivor.
That was the fun part.
and that's why I wanted to bring you guys in to see, to ask, like, what was your experience with it? What did you notice? How did it go? And because I told you guys earlier, I think it was like week 3, I finally turned around and there was tables, groups of competitors starting to form alliances.
Right. Enclaves.
Yes. Yeah. So, did you guys like the Survivor aspect of it?
I think
compared
it's cool.
to
I think it's different. I think so. A lot of karaoke contests are really, really focused on different things, like you said, like singing contests are, people critiquing every little teeny aspect of what you do. Which, if you're trying to be a professional, great, excellent, do your thing. But if you're looking to just kind of have a good time, sing, meet some people, it seems better to let people kind of vote for each other.
Yeah.
Because then it's less about all the little tiny details, what your timber's like, you know what I mean, what your tone feels like, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's more about having a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My original mindset was going in this like way too meticulously. Like I was going to listen note for note, and as soon as you got a note wrong, I'm writing down notes. But like I quickly realized, like with you, Randy, like matching Matchbox 20's vocals and his style and his cadence is just as important as hitting the notes, because it's karaoke, it's overall entertainment.
Right.
And I think you really set the bar one of the first weeks with like really setting the bar for the other competitors. Like, we need to move around. We can't, you know what I mean? There has to be audience. And I think you were the first one to actually go out into the crowd.
I asked if it was okay at first, because I didn't know how you guys, felt about that, going away from you guys, where you couldn't see us and that. And I found it was okay. So it kind of made me a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
I could do what I normally, do out there, just play around. Mm-hmm. But like he was talking about earlier about doing this karaoke, the way this was set up is, I talked to Brian before this, and I didn't want to join it. I wasn't joined till almost the last minute. I wasn't even gonna, but he talked me into it, and I said, well, Brian, I said, listen, I've been into a couple of them before. I said, everywhere you go, I said, it's all favoritism. I said, they put it in certain bars and that, and everybody knows them, everybody claps, they go by the fans or the reaction. I said, it just turns into favoritism. I said, so I don't want you to know, man, this is different. He goes, and he explained how it was going to be. I said, you know what, that does sound a lot of fun. I said, count me in. Let's do this. I said, yeah, I'll try it. And I'm having a blast doing this.
It is fun. It is fun. And
I mean, a lot of good people.
A lot of good people, and I think everybody has gotten better exponentially from week 1. I think everybody has gotten so much better. And you said your mom's Bettina.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's her first. Was that her first like competition? I think that's her first. Yeah, like just
contest,
to see her comfort going in from. I wasn't there week 2, like going in from like week 1 to week 3, just night and day difference.
Huge difference. Yeah, her first song. I mean, she even apologized in the middle of her song. She was so nervous, So it was nice that she made it through. Like you said, it really is a big buff in her confidence, because she's got a nice voice. I mean, she sings well, but it's the confidence
everybody
issue.
Can sing. I just, everybody around this valley, I mean, they
there's a lot more talent than people are willing to give us credit for, I think. You know what I mean? We're a little tiny valley. People don't realize how packed we are with people that are just really good at what they do.
Mm-hmm. And even like we have singers that can hit every note and hit the high notes, and then we'll have singers like John who can match David Allan Coe's voice to a T.
Sounds just like
it's just it's such a variety of what they're bringing, and everybody has an equal chance.
Mm-hmm.
And So
But yeah, like you was talking earlier about everybody kind of sitting back and watching.
yeah. So when did you guys jump into like we need to do something because this is this? Like,
I would
we kind
say
of
about
realized
the
it was
third
Survivor.
song because I wanted to fill it out, and I was talking to a couple other people that were at my table, and they just kind of was wanting to sing and do it on kind of on their own, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, that's good, but you can only go so far, you
Yeah.
know. You're gonna, and I was kind of looking at who was like knew each other and grouping up a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But I couldn't just go in and just barge in, so I had to be invited, and I was invited, and I jumped on it, and it got me this far, man. I tell you,
Yeah.
it wasn't for a group of people. You're not going to get far.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for me on that one. You can see exactly what he's talking about because for me it didn't work.
Yeah.
You know, I was telling everybody my mom's the reason I was even in it in the first place. So I figure, stick with her, hang out with her. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be us getting to hang out. We don't
Sure.
hang out as much as
Yeah,
we like
sure,
to.
sure.
So, we hang out, sing a couple songs, have a good time or whatever. And you can see that pretty quickly ended up
Yeah.
getting me right out of there. So,
Well, like I said earlier, it's like it was crazy because like week 3, I turned around and you could see like alliances being made, and then when you looked at the voting sheet, say if there was like 10 people to the biggest table, you were getting 10 votes off to people in the other tables, but not them. So I was like, okay.
I was
this
wondering
is-
if you guys were going to notice that too, because
Yeah.
I was talking to our group. I said, man, I wonder if they're going to notice this. They're going to have to notice it.
Yeah.
you know?
oh yeah.
I thought that was funny though, because talk about it later on. You know.
If so thinking about all the competitors so far that didn't make it in, if you had to pick one, if you were a judge based solely on like singing talent, who would be your top person that's out so far?
I feel like I'm obligated
No, I
to
got
say
it.
my mom.
I was yourself or your mom?
My choice is me or my mom. I feel like I'm obligated.
Yeah.
Brian Seyfried, he got out too, right?
Yeah,
he's real good. As long as he stays in his lane, man, he's so good, like you said.
But he was
That
one of the
grunge
ones that
style.
was like, I don't want to play this game of Survivor.
Exactly. Yeah. He's very talented.
That's my
Yeah,
choice
very
also,
talented.
man.
Yeah.
He stuck
Brian.
out. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
he did. And I saw him once at Beef's Doug's bar. There, he was singing karaoke. And when the first week I came here, I came with my brother, and I looked at Brian, I looked at Ben, my brother, and I said, he's going to do some Creed. Because my brother loves Creed. I'm like, he's hitting us with some Creed and stuff.
We go
He
out about
knows.
every weekend, me and him, and we go singing. I hook up with him all the time, and he just
Oh, yeah.
he blows it away every time, man. I tell you,
Yeah. Oh,
good
yeah.
singer,
He knows what he's doing.
absolutely.
Like for hitting big notes and pulling the mic away slowly
Yep.
to humming the note before the song even starts. He'll go,
Yeah,
and
he
he'll
does.
hit that and make sure he's on key with the first word.
Yeah, I was sorry to see him
Yep.
go. I really was. Man, it felt bad. It really did. He
I was so
knows it
nervous
too.
this
You'll hear
week.
it. He
Yeah.
knows it.
I was so nervous this week. Doug Boston looked over at me at one point, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was so nervous when the voting was going on. He had bits of gaff tape, so I'm like rolling little joints, setting them down. I didn't know what to do with my hands. He's like, "What are you doing over here?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm nervous."
That's funny.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's been a ride, and it ends this Sunday.
I know.
Yeah.
Cannot believe it.
But it's been fun. I tell you. I think I personally I've learned more about my vocals and kind of finding a teacher in the Raw
Yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of just rolled into that. I did a song years ago, 3 a.m., but never went anything with it after that. Never followed up on
Right.
that. But as I had time to be by myself and listen to some music, I kept going back to Raw Thomas. I said, man, he's a good teacher. So I just kept listening to him and listening
Yeah.
to him. After a while, you start to morph into it.
Yeah, yeah. So you said this competition was your first like way back into music, and you wanted to start with singing to kind of get more comfortable and then bring the bass in.
Yeah, well, yes. Actually, I wanted to do practice to be a front man and see if I could do it. I wanted to get a band behind me. And then as things go on, then I can play the bass. We can mix it up a little bit. Then we can
Yeah.
make it a little bit more entertaining after that,
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, that's my plan. I got a vision for this,
Yeah, yeah.
I do have a name. Can I say it?
Oh, yeah.
It's no big
Oh,
deal.
yeah.
I know it is
Yeah.
called. I'll have to give my wife credit for this one. Mixed Box 20.
Mixed box
Mixed
one.
box.
Okay.
So that way it has a variety of Nickelback and
Right.
other Three Doors Down and then
That's
a lot
cool.
of yeah.
I like
That's
that.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
It's
it
really
like
cool.
right now, like that wave of like that, like they call like dad rock and stuff.
Dad
It's
rock,
making a
that's
big,
right, yes.
making a big.
Yes.
Like with Brian singing Creed, like that's what's
Creed,
in. That's
yeah.
what's in right now. That's who's touring.
Yeah.
And you've been getting reps into the Waterfront Hall. How's that been going?
Good. We're going. Hopefully, after I leave here this evening, I'm gonna go down and probably play a little bit. That's been those guys are fantastic down
Yes.
there. Matt, I talked to him earlier. He says send his regards. He says,
Oh, really?
guys.
Okay.
He says hi.
Nice.
And
shout out, Matt.
Yes.
Bucket of puppies.
Yes, sir. Yes. And good guys, man. I'll tell you, those guys. Yeah, they welcomed me in down there, and man, I have a blast down there. Yes.
And they're big proponents of the modelers. So you can go down there without any amps or anything. You plug in, you can tell them I want Jimi Hendrix sound from whatever Woodstock, and it loads right up.
Yeah, Joel, he's something down there, man. I tell you, he's
Yeah.
doing a good job. These guys sound really good too.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our new sponsor, Rich Investments Group. Rich Investments Group is a real estate investment firm with a mission of providing quality housing for our community. Rich Investments Group proudly offers a rent-to-own program, assisting tenants to one day become homeowners themselves. Veterans are urged to reach out to them so they can support them in finding their dream home.
Now, is this it for your music journey, or are we doing another step? We taking another step.
So
We meet.
I want to join the band. Come on, man.
yeah, maybe I will. Yeah. I'll be your second hand. You know,
Backup singer. Okay,
That's
how's
right.
that?
I'll be the backup.
Okay.
Singer. Wasn't good enough.
No, I'll
to
give
be
you some
top
front
10.
songs.
It's funny. It's like as energetic as you two are. It'd just be like two guys.
Oh man.
No, for
So
me,
all I need is more energy.
for me, music was kind of like my first thing. I was in band in high school,
Yeah.
chorus. Went to JM. Was in Monarch Choir. You know, all that stuff. I got a keyboard sitting in my living room right now. You know, all kinds of stuff. But I don't know. It feels like as I get older, I don't have as much time for the things I'm as passionate about. You know, I'm studying to be a realtor right now, so that I can kind of get some more free time. But right now, it feels like all my time's from work back to home, back
Right.
to work. I work up in St. Clairsville, up at Valley City. I sell furniture.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go from selling furniture to selling houses.
Sell houses.
And
Okay.
hopefully selling myself as a musician. That'd be pretty nice.
That's nice.
That's exactly what happened to me, man. For 18 years.
Yeah.
Just I couldn't. Yeah. Well, things happen. You don't have the time.
You don't
know?
have it, yeah, like you
Yeah,
said.
unfortunately, pandemic hit. Unfortunately, I guess. you know,
Unfortunately for a
and,
lot of people.
it gave
yeah.
me too much time, I guess. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's something I didn't have the luxury of actually.
Yeah.
I was an essential worker throughout the whole
right.
thing. Both
So you had
my
to go
wife and I
through it.
were.
You had to work
so
your
I
way
was
through
there
it.
the whole time. Yeah, I was working at Walmart's distribution
Oh,
center up
boy.
in
You had to go through all that stuff with the mask from the
Yeah,
beginning
it was
and all.
not fun. Man, working in a warehouse, working, like manual labor,
Right.
with a mask on is not fun.
No.
No,
Yeah,
I know what
it's
that's
not
like.
good. Not good.
Welder of 30 years with those. I know what that's like.
yeah.
Yeah, there was like that. March was like the month that everything closed down, and it was like a year and a half worth of gigs booked and text message one after the other. Sorry.
Man.
And
I
I'm
bet,
like, okay,
yeah,
this is the end of the world.
Right off.
Yeah.
I always wonder what was happening during that. I was trying to listen to the
Yeah.
musical part of it. And yeah, people were just saying stay home. Stay home.
Yep.
And it was a slow shutdown, and you'd always see like some bands like stick it out as long as they could. You'd hear like one band playing down in like Bel Air, like when after the shutdown happened, you're like, whoa, like, and finally everything was done.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you said you were a fighter. We
I
have a mutual friend in Johnny Hott.
wouldn't call myself a fighter. And Johnny wouldn't call me a fighter either. Let's be honest here. I'm a guy that 5 years ago had a cage fight once. Okay,
Where's
don't
the
get
cage
it
fight at?
twisted. It was in Findlay, Ohio, up in the
Okay.
I got absolutely destroyed. It was not close. I remember I came out. I thought I was so clever, man. I thought I was a smart boy. All right. I came out thinking to myself, because the guy's a real good wrestler, jiu-jitsu guy, and I wanted to keep it on the feet. I wanted to strike with him. So I came out southpaw. I was going to bait out the takedown. I was going to defend. I was going to throw shots. I come out. We touch gloves at the beginning of the round. Black.
Really?
Black. I wake up. He's got hooks in, got the body triangle, working for the choke. Yeah.
Damn.
It was
What
it was
happened,
something
huh?
else.
What happened, huh?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, that's like that Mike Tyson quote. Everybody
That's
has
right.
a great plan until they get.
That's right. That's
All that
right.
work for nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Johnny Hott's a good dude, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back into working with him. I worked with him for a little while, but I'm too fat for it. I've been running every day again, but
Striking is a good cardio because you forget that like you're pretty much running the whole time when you're.
yeah,
So.
yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, that knockout's scary because I heard a story of when Yuri fought Dominic Reyes. He said
Yeah.
he got knocked out, hit the ground, and when he came to, he thought he was in sparring weeks before the fight
The fight
until
started.
somebody said, no, you're it's going into the second round. You have to wake up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
That's
that's.
nuts.
I remember hearing it. I think it was on Joe Rogan. The Kamaru Usman talking about like how
Yes,
he woke
yeah.
up. He was like, I just got a 30-minute nap. Didn't even
yeah,
realize.
yeah. After you like shook everybody's hand and said
Yeah,
goodbye to everybody,
right.
you finally wake up in an ambulance.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's nuts. So, have you guys been based in the Valley your whole lives?
So, kind of, it's been home base for me. My
Yeah.
stepdad's in the military. He
Oh, okay.
was when I was younger. So we moved around a little bit, but Marshall County really was always like my come to. You know, my whole family lives in Moundsville. Too much of them, honestly. But yeah, so the Valley's always kind of been home base. You know.
You as well, Randy.
Originally from Weirton.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up there, and remember the 2004 flood and that with
Yeah.
Ivan and that.
Yeah.
Well, when that all came down, it tore our house from the
Oh,
foundation.
really?
Took it down the river. We lost pretty much everything. You know,
Wow.
couldn't find a place up here in Weirton to rent or anything because we had animals, we had dogs, and nobody would want to rent to us and that. And so it took a while, but my father-in-law down here in Pronter offered us some land down there. We picked everything up and
perfect.
come down there, and I kept my job in Pittsburgh, so my mother was real old, so I was still taking care of her there,
Okay.
and working in Pittsburgh and coming home on weekends. That was my life for about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was tough. I had to give up music, and that's why I had to stop everything. It wasn't time for it. I had to quit the band and all that. So yeah, then that's what's after that. You know, time spent, pandemic hits. You know, a little later, then
Well, you're getting back into it in the right way. Couple reps singing, couple reps at the Waterfront Hall. So now you're doing a couple reps with the band. Just getting
right. Just trying, man, trying
Yeah.
something. You know.
yeah, not I want to do music, book this, and
Right.
then you're overwhelmed.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. Yes, you know. Plus, you know, wife has to do this and do that. She has to go for treatments and that. So that comes first. You know.
So growing up in the Valley, what would be the best show you guys seen?
Scene.
Any scene from a concert goer's perspective, whether it's like a band coming in, like traveling, maybe they hit up the Civic Center, or if it's like a local band that you love.
It's been a while since I've seen it, man. To tell you the truth, quite some time.
Yeah. If you're gonna say specifically seen them here in the Valley,
Yeah.
I think last time I saw a band here in the Valley, I was like 15.
Oh,
Probably would
yeah?
have been like, what was it, Black Action Cop, I think was the name
Oh,
of them back in
yeah.
the day.
I've
Way
seen
back
several
when.
bands,
Yeah.
but you know, just festival stuff like
Yeah.
that. I mean, you know,
Or
Town
who'd be the
Festival.
top act that you've seen out anywhere?
Yeah, it's been a while, man. Personally, nobody big, I haven't
Really?
seen anybody big out.
For
I
me,
mean, at
I'm gonna
times,
say
really,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah, oh yeah. For me, I'm gonna say
No
probably,
money either.
probably Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
Because,
Oh, yeah.
and I mean, he put on a decent show for being 9 trillion years old, you know.
Yeah.
But I've just been a huge Billy Joel fan. I
I'm
get
trying to
flack
think
for
of
it
the
sometimes,
last,
but
like the last big one I seen at the top. I know I seen Van Halen years ago. That was the '80s though. You know?
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's actually my
Yeah.
first ever concert. I was real cool. Like big one, not like local
Right.
show with local bands. First big concert. I actually got to go see Queensryche on their 30th
okay.
anniversary tour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right before they kicked him out of the band. Singer, oh my goodness,
Oh, what?
name escapes me.
Was it Tate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they kicked him out, and I remember them saying that, oh, he just doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
But I saw him like 4 months before they kicked him out, and
Yeah.
he sounded like the album. Unreal. Beautiful. So,
Yeah, they were at the casino a few years ago, but I think it was definitely would be without him.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's weird seeing like bands like you grew up listening to, and like the lead singer will leave. So you have like you'll have what's the guy from say Skid Row? He has Sebastian Bach's
Sebastian
Skid
Bach,
Row,
yeah.
but there's also Skid Row that's touring. Or you have like Tom So and So's Cinderella, but then you also have Cinderella
minus
the
rest
singer.
of it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's always real weird.
One favorite band. The one thing we did was a lot of fun. Jake was back in the '90s. We did open up for Marshall Tucker Band.
Marshall, yeah, you mentioned that too. Yeah,
up
Marshall
at the
Tucker
Pensacola
Band.
Roadhouse. That was probably one of the highlights, I would say, of my life. It would have to be, right? For a big act like that. The lead player comes up to me and talks. We're back tuning our guitars together, and he says, "Now," he goes, "when I'm doing my solo, he goes, how about go get a couple shots?" He goes, when he goes, come up behind the curtain. He goes, I'll come back and we'll have a couple shots together. I said, are you serious? He goes, yeah, absolutely. He goes, okay. So I waited for a while. I gave him time. I seen him go up and do a solo. I snuck back there and he come back and did a shot with me. I'll never, it's something you'll never forget.
Man.
Marshall Tucker Band. Man.
Was that like the
awesome.
butterfly?
Oh
bag?
man, it was
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, it was everything. It hooked me. Right there. I was,
Yeah.
if I wasn't hooked before, I was then after that. Right.
Yeah. The one butterfly moment I got playing music was we did Main Stage Jamboree in 2014. And it was the first time I really understood how important floor monitors are. Because I was standing away from the floor monitor. I hit a note. I didn't hear the echo of that note till like a second and a half later. So unless you're standing right in front of that monitor to hear real time what you're playing,
That's a scary moment, man.
you're lost. I was like, wow, I'm not moving.
What do I do?
Oh man.
You gotta know what's next, I guess, right? You
Yeah.
gotta know what's next.
Yeah. And back in it was just 2014, but back then, like if you wanted the in-ear monitor system, that was when you had to pay thousands to get an a mold of your ear, send it in, have a doctor send you a thing back. But now you can just everybody sells in-ear monitor drivers now.
I never used one before, but I like to try one.
Yeah, they're nice. They'll save you from getting vertigo for 10 days. If you have a nice set.
Jeez.
There's a couple times like I've stood by a floor monitor, they got way too loud, and you hear this like vroom in your ear, like a little like retraction. You're like, oh, I'm not going to bed tonight. Yeah. Laying in bed, you feel like there's somebody with a dog whistle in the corner of the room just blowing it all night.
Have you ever tried to play with earplugs in?
I tried, but
I've seen guys do it, and we've tried it because you practice. Even during practice, in closed areas, you want to try to do something.
Right.
I could not do it.
It's really hard.
I could not do it. No, it threw me off too much.
Really hard. Yeah.
it doesn't just like lower the volume. It kind of like take away like a frequency of say like a piano.
Yes,
it kind of takes away your ability to hear the piano or the violin or something like that.
Yep.
Not just like kind of like bringing everything down.
Yeah.
And the bass kind of gets like all muffled and
Yeah, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
So guys, I believe that was a good episode. Kind of featured two guys. I thought we were going to have 5-6 people crowds. I had the wide angle, but
lot more, yeah.
But this was perfect. Yeah, got to feature you guys, and there's going to be some plans for Mixbox 20.
I hope so.
We'll promote you when you get set up. Come on in, and
that'll be great.
we'll talk about the genre in general.
Yes.
So, what are you guys listening to outside of like performing? What's like your like playlist look like as far as like genre? Is it like Matchbox 20? Is that?
Nah, not really. I got Nickelback, a lot of Nickelback stuff.
Okay.
3 Doors Down, plenty. It's some older stuff,
Yeah.
What I've done in the past, I can always bring up and do, Yeah.
That's the hardest question in the world to
Alice
ask me.
Cooper.
I was going to say because you came out with Roses first week.
Yeah,
I never
Outkast,
tried to
Bonnie
bring-
Tyler.
I never tried to bring out Alice Cooper yet, man.
Alice Cooper.
Oh man,
That's classic.
I know that would show my age. I don't want to do that.
We were down the waterfront when Alice Cooper came to West Banco. We were doing like an Alice Cooper pre-show thing. We did like a little live podcast, and we had all his whole discography playing the whole time down there, like a little festival. And we were like, man, this guy's lived so many lives because you hear of like 18 and school's out, and then you hear something like Hey Stupid or like Prince of Darkness. It's such produced compared to like his earlier stuff.
Yeah, hugely different.
Yeah. And now he's like a professional golfer. I think that's what he does now.
Yeah. You're right,
He does that radio show or something for
Okay,
Valley,
yeah.
and then he'll do. Yeah,
Wasn't
I
his
thought
dad
that was
like a
pretty neat
pastor,
too.
I
or
think so,
something?
yeah.
He said all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, remember Dee Snider had like that House of Hair on the radio
House
for
of
a
Hair,
long
yeah.
time.
Yep.
For
I
a
remember
long
listening
time.
to that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was classic.
Yeah, they don't radio like local radio stations don't do like the cool like. Remember they had Get the Lead Out at 9
Get the
o'clock
Lead
or
Out,
like
yep.
Metallica Mondays, or they would play like
Yeah.
a block or something. Yeah, 2 for. I think they still do 2 for Tuesdays.
They do still
yeah.
do 2 for Tuesdays.
Usually that's how I figure out what day of the week it is. Sometimes. Okay, it's Tuesday.
You're like, oh yeah, Tuesday.
2 Billy
I know
Squires.
what you mean.
Yeah.
I've done it several times in the car driving, and where I go, yeah, that's right.
That's right. Oh yeah, Tuesday.
All right,
I like
everybody.
the hey, you guys, it's Friday. better.
Well, Eagle used to have loud and local too. If
Loud
you
and local, yeah.
If you had something recorded and you put it out like a demo, they would play it.
What was it?
wow,
Pass
cool.
it or play it? Something
Something
like
like
that.
that,
They were doing?
yeah.
I have 2 originals on cassette. Remember those?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do have, and I put like a poor man's patent. It's still in my M&M sealed, and
Really?
I want to
Oh,
bring,
wow,
I want to
okay.
bring it out and get it on CD, and I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do
Yeah,
that.
that's a good idea.
Maybe get it out now. The internet's out. Get it out. Just throw it out on the
Yeah,
internet.
put it on SoundCloud or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, my guys are wearing to say, "Hey, man, that's me. Where you going?" You didn't sell me the rights. It's mine.
All right, guys. We'll put a ribbon on this one. I hear my daughter screaming in the background. It'd be my cue to start putting it down.
Daddy.
That'd be about it. Yep.
Appreciate you guys coming in, and
Thank
I'll
you.
see you down there Sunday for the finale.
Already.
All right.
Congratulations to Keith Coleman for winning the performance of the night. We got.